In our daily lives, science is all around us, from the penicillin that we take when we're feeling under the weather, the Teflon that stops fried eggs sticking to the pan, the synthetic dyes that colour our clothes, to the microwaves that warm up last night's dinner. These, along with countless others, are all scientific discoveries that are integral parts of our modern way of life, but we usually don't question when or how these discoveries came into being, so it may be surprising to learn that all these things were discovered by chance. In fact, researchers estimate that 30 to 50% of all scientific discoveries were made by chance. So my question is, how much does chance affect our daily lives, and can science really survive without it? Just to list a few, here is a brief history of scientific discoveries made by chance in the past century that have truly changed our lives. Teflon was discovered in 1938 by Roy Plunkett. Whilst trying to synthesize a new refrigerant, he accidentally created PTFE resin, which he observed had unusual properties, notably its slippery non-stick quality, leading to the development of the very important material we use today. The Slinky was developed in 1943 by naval engineer Richard James. The iconic Slinky, which revolutionized the toy industry, was created when James was trying to develop a spring that would support naval equipment. When one spring accidentally fell off a shelf, it continued moving, and he then had the idea for a toy. Today, more than 250 million Slinkies have been sold worldwide. The microwave was invented in 1945 by Percy Spencer. Spencer was building magnetrons for radar sets when the chocolate bar in his pocket melted in front of an active one. This chance observation led him to investigate and then invent the microwave oven. Chocolate really is the solution to all our problems. Other discoveries include superglue in 1942 by Harry Coover, Velcro in 1941 by George de Mestral, implantable pacemakers in 1958 by Wilson Greatbatch, and penicillin. Penicillin is a drug used to treat many illnesses and helps prevent infection for those who have a weak immune system. It is one of the most famous examples of an accidental or chance discovery, and many are familiar with the story of Fleming and his mouldy plates. In 1928, Alexander Fleming was researching ways to destroy Staphylococcus bacteria when he accidentally left his agar plates exposed to the air, whilst on holiday, only to come back to agar plates covered in mould. However, instead of scraping the plates clean and starting afresh, he observed them and noticed that there were small rings around the mould where bacteria hadn't grown. Upon further research, he deduced that the mould of the Penicillium species must have been killing the bacteria, and named the so-called mold juice he obtained, rather aptly, penicillin. Although he wasn't able to prove the merit of penicillin, later research by Florian Chain in 1938 led to the production of the antibiotic used today. This is an amazing scientific discovery and is a great example of how important chance is when attempting research. Or is it? The lesser-known story is that of Ernest Duchesne, who discovered penicillin but failed to understand that it may have been the fungus that had antibacterial properties, meaning that his findings were largely ignored by the scientific community. So whilst Fleming gets the glory, he also gets the reputation for being a lucky scientist. However, what this story demonstrates is that whilst chance and luck are important in discoveries, it cannot be accepted as the sole cause, as, in the words of Louis Pasteur, chance only favours the prepared mind. So maybe it is instead serendipity. This word was first used by Horace Walpole. The word is based on the Persian fairy tale The Three Princes of Serendib, who were always making discoveries by chance and sagacity of things they were not in quest of. When talking about serendipity in relation to scientific research, chance doesn't mean that nature is behaving randomly. What it does mean is that the researchers provided well-thought-out experimental conditions which have allowed for the unpredictable to occur. But with these unexpected results, chance can only take the scientists so far. Serendipity refers to a certain kind of happy accident, the kind that can only be exploited by a wise person. In the words of Lewis Thomas, it seems to me now that as you get research going, things are bound to begin happening if you've got your wits about you. You create the lucky accidents. Only with a certain open mindset can a scientist truly understand the relevance of opportunities provided by chance. Chance gives you the question, but only a dedicated, inquisitive mind gives you the answers. The idea that chance outcomes evoke an inquiring mind is supported by the work of psychologists Fugelsang and Dunbar. They use neuroimaging and MRI scans to find that unexpected results were associated with the prefrontal cortex in the brain, which implies that it provokes attentiveness as the brain seeks to rationalize and understand these findings through conscious linguistic systems. We use science to bring us a step closer to understanding the world around us, which means that we are constantly seeking to discover new information, meaning that science is in its inherent nature surprising and unexpected. Though research may lead to unpredicted results, these results can only have meaning if they can be understood by the observer within the context of an experiment.
What links all these discoveries together is that they were all looking for something. They may not have been looking for Velcro or Teflon, but by opening their minds, they were able to embrace the unexpected. The mind must be prepared to welcome a novel idea, must be able to embrace the unexpected with open arms. So what may appear as chance to the unprepared mind is actually a spark which may trigger 1,000 impulses, thoughts and ideas in another. Science needs chance, not for fateful strokes of luck, but to inspire genius. With the right thirst for understanding, chance is the ladder which brings us a few steps closer to understanding this beautiful, bewildering universe around us.